What's up, my Essential Unit? It's Essential Man here, so this is my review of AEW's All Out 2021. The first match to kick off the show, we got Miro defending the TNT Championship against Eddie Kingston. An okay match, a decent match between Miro and Kingston. The bulk of the match, you had Miro working up the back of Eddie Kingston, trying to set up the game over, formerly known as the Accolade. You know, it's the Camel Clutch. Miro locked in the submission hold onto Kingston. Kingston reached the ropes. You know, that'd be stupid. Not stupid, but it'd be weak if he taps out. Kingston, you know, trying to bust his ass. You know, every time he's in that fighting mode, trying to like work up a combat, but Miro stopped him. The ending's a bit very odd. He was going towards Miro towards the exposed turnbuckle. The referee stopped him. Bit of a crooked referee situation. I don't know. In the end, Miro hit Kingston in the back of the head with the super kick. I think he called it the matcha kick. He called it to win this match and retain the TNT title. I don't know what happened to Kingston, man. I like him. Don't get me wrong. I want him to succeed, but this is the third title match he lost in his AEW career, because he lost the world title match against Moxley at Full Gear last year. I think it was at Revolution. I think it wasn't at Double or Nothing. It's between Revolution or Double or Nothing of this year. They lost the tag team titles to the Young Bucks, and now he's just lost the TNT title match to Miro. It's just like, how do you bounce back? What's next? Is he going to lose to Ricky Starks for the FTW Championship? I'm worried about Eddie Kingston. You know, I like him. He's good in the ring, good on the mic, but he's like they try to book him like a loser. Anyway, so the next match, we got Jon Moxley versus Satoshi. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name properly. Satoshi Kojima. A good match between Kojima and Moxley. It was physical. Like I think like one more of the match, they end up biting each other. You know, on the top of the ropes. You know, they were biting each other. It was physical. Like Mox hit, I think he hit like a suicide dive. Not their best match. It was a good match, physical match. But in the end, Mox hit not just one but two paradigm shift onto Kojima to win. It's funny, like I think the announcer said he lost the IWGP United States title, because everyone knows that AEW is in a working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I don't know who he lost the title to, because he held that belt much longer. I think he won it in 2019. Held the belt for 2 years. And then we got a bunch of, I think it's first off 3 or 4 debuts on the show. So we got the debut of, I'm gonna butcher this dude's name, Minoru Suzuki. You know, they kind of like clash heads. They hit like elbow shots, and then Suzuki hits Moxley with his version of the power driver. I don't know why it's called. It is a power driver, but I don't know the name of his version of the power driver. The position of the power driver, it reminds me of Cesaro's neutralizer. And then the announcer says they're gonna have a match on Dynamite of this week. You know, because they fought in New Japan in 2020. Because at the time, it's funny that Mox is still working with New Japan while he's still working with AEW. I know they're in the working relationship. Before that, you know, he's doing double duty. You know, this is before the whole COVID-19 pandemic hits. You know, you can't really go to Japan at this moment in time because, you know, it was like they shut down the whole country, not whole country, but the whole rest of the globe last year compared to right now. But anyway, so it was a good match. You know, I think it's a little bit better. I think some of these matches, the opener between Miro, Kingston, and Moxley and Kojima, I feel like some of these matches like belong on Dynamite, not on the people. It's not really a pay-per-view worthy match. I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying. So moving on to the next match. The next match we got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, with Jamie Hayter and Rebel, not Reba, because Britt calls Rebel Reba. Defended the AEW Women's Championship against Chris Statlander. This was physical. This was physical between Baker and Statlander. What's it? There's one physical spot. Statlander was going for like a pendulum moonsault off the ring apron. Britt got out of the way the last minute, and she took a nasty third. Britt hit like the curb stomp onto Statlander on the concrete. That was boy, that was physical. They took physical bumps between Baker and Statlander. Britt hit the Pittsburgh Parama. Was it? No, the Pittsburgh Sunrise. It's basically a spin to Adam Cole's Panama Sunrise. You know, and also Britt hit the DDT onto Statlander. Very scary DDT. I said to myself, holy shit, how the hell Statlander never broke her neck? How the hell she's never got a neck injury? That was the sickest DDT I ever saw. I think like like on 2 occasions, you know, Britt trying to lock in the lockjaws onto Statlander, but she kind of fight out. In the end, not in the end, but I think like Statlander locked in her submission hold. I think it's called the spider crab, but Britt fight out. In the end, yeah, I think like she was going for the bit. I think she countered the not counter, but got out of the because Statlander was trying to hit Britt with the Big Bang Theory, but she got out of the way. Oh, just got out at the last minute before she locked in her, like, trying to perform her finisher, I'm trying to say. Sorry, a bit of a tongue twisting moment, but anyway. In the end, Britt hit another curse stomp, and then all of a sudden, she managed to lock in the lockjaws onto Statlander. I think she tapped out, and Britt retains the title. I knew Britt would walk out as the new still the women's champion. It's too soon, because this is her first title defense on pay-per-view, not her first title defense, because she already defended the title on Dynamite, but yeah, against Nyla Rose and Red Velvet, but the first one on pay-per-view. It's too soon. I don't think she's dropping the title anytime soon. Yeah, it was a physical match between Statlander and Britt Baker. So moving on to that was match number 3. Match 4, we got a steel cage match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers. That is Penta, Al Zero, and Ray Phoenix. I'm going to call him Pentagon Jr. That's just me. You know, yeah, I don't know why they changed Penta's name. I don't get it. I wish they just called up Pentagon Jr. But anyway, so the match was really, in my opinion, this is match of the night for me. Penta, for me, he got his ass kicked. You know, there's blood around his face. There's blood in his eye and his mouth. Wow, Penta took a beating in this match. There's one funny spot. There's a lot of spot fest in this match. People are gonna bitch and complain. Oh, they do flips and dives. I don't give a shit, but it's just what it is. Sometimes spot fest. Sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes it could be a bad thing. But anyway, there's one funny spot. Nick and Matt. They were going for like was it the BE trigger? You know, like the double rubbing knees towards Ray Phoenix. Phoenix got out of the way. They ended up hitting each other on the knee. That was a bit, not painful, but it's got to be painful. But there was one, and also there was another spot. You got Brandon Cutler. He's kind of like the Elite's lackey, kind of throw like a black bag, and I think it was Nick or Matt. I think it's Nick. I don't know. I think it was Matt. I don't know. It's one of the Young Bucks. Kind of like took off his shoe, put on a blue shoe with the Thumbtacks. He kind of sticked the Thumbtack shoe onto the face of Pentagon. I was cringing. I was like, holy crap! Like I say, he took a beating in this match. I think like one of the Young Bucks kicked out of the Lucha Brothers finisher. You know, Ray Phoenix hit like a move off the cage, hit there. I think it was a assisted power driver onto, I think it was on Matt or Nick, to win this match and become the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. I think it's the 4th or 5th champion. Because so far we have 5 champions in the history of the AEW Tag Team Championship. So I think the first champions are Yeah, the first champions are SCU, that's Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. Then it was Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Then it was FTR, formerly known as Revival. Then it was the Young Bucks. Yeah, five. Yeah, the Lucha Brothers are the fifth tag team champions, win the tag team belts in the history of the AEW Tag Team Championship. So, kudos to the Lucha Brothers. They've been around. They've been around for nearly 2 years. They're really funny. They fought 2 years ago on that same show in 2019. Also the debuts of Santana and Ortiz. That plan building the seeds of the Inner Circle. But yeah, I think they bust their ass. I think it was good. It was physical. Yeah, I think this is for me match of the night. The next match, this is a casino battle royal for the women. Winner face Britt Baker for the AEW Women's Championship. We got the debut of Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho is basically formerly known as Ruby Riott in the WWE. First off, I was shocked when Hikaru Shida got eliminated in the early stages of the Battle Royal. She got eliminated by Nyla Rose. I think Nyla Rose, for me, she's kind of like the MVP in this match. I don't want people crap on Nyla Rose. I think she's a beast. She's way better than Nia Jax. Trust me, man. But I don't get it. But Kiera Hogan got eliminated by Nyla Rose. Yeah, I don't know I think she eliminated like 9, 10. She gotta be eliminated 5. Yeah, she's gotta be like the beast in this match. Suho was the hometown girl. I never knew she's from Chicago. Ruby Riott, Ruby Suho. No, she's from Michigan. I don't know why the Chicago crowd cheer for her. I don't think she's from Chicago. I thought she was from Chicago, but anyway, it's really funny that it's like the AEW allowed like Ruby, allowed to call her Ruby because I thought she's gonna be like Heidi Lovelace. That's her name in the Indies. She was Ruby Riott in WWE, NXT and the main roster, but the final two is Ruby Riott and Thunder Rosa. I was going for Thunder Rosa, but instead Ruby eliminated Thunder Rosa last to win this match, and she's likely facing Britt Baker in a future match, whether it's at Full Gear or a future pay-per-view. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know who takes the second place. Maybe Jade Cargill, another woman I like. She's the hottest black woman, with muscles. But Ruby Soho, faces Britt Baker for the AEW Women's Championship. Too soon, in my opinion. Let her build her up. Maybe at Full Gear, but it's too soon. If they did it right now, it's gonna squander her momentum. Look at Brian Cage. He won that ladder match at Double or Nothing last year, and then I think it was at Fyter Fest or Fight to the following episodes of Dynamite. He lost to John Moxley. He never covered ever since. I'm not saying he's buried, but he's kind of like. He was out of the wagon. That's the problem doing what's the point of doing like a ranking system? Why can't you just do number one contender matches? Go back to the old days. Yeah, they had number one contender matches. Decide who is the contender for the champion going into a future episode of Dynamite. A future episode of a weekly show or a pay-per-view. So yeah, it's good to see Ruby Soho or Ruby Riott in AEW. Hope she do well in AEW. So the next match we got MGF. That is Maxwell Jacob Freeman versus Chris Jericho. If Jericho lose, he should retire. He have to retire in the ring. Match was good. It was a decent match for what it is. There's one sicked spot in this match. MGF kind of like spiked Jericho onto the ring apron, and before that he did like the strut. He did the Ric Flair strut with the he did the hip twerk. It's kind of funny, and also you kind of give the Chicago fan, the Chicago crowd the middle finger. Typical MGF. I kind of like MGF, to be honest. This brawl between Wardlow and Hager. I think this rivalry between the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle still continue. In my opinion, I think it kind of it's cooled off at this moment in time. I don't know. I think it is cooled off. It's not just me. Yeah, it's not my fault. I just kind of watching. I was in and out watching AEW. You know, it's just like, it's a shame they only do 4 pay-per-views a year. You know, you have to wait until a few months until the next pay-per-view. I don't know, it's just like, I wish they do super shows. I might do a video on that, you know, addressing should AEW do super shows like Impact Wrestling. But anyway, so MGF hits Jericho with the bat without Andre Edwards, you know, the female referee, noticing. MGF pins Jericho, but Jericho's foot's on the ropes, but the match was over and Jericho retired. Unfortunately, there's another referee says, you know, Jericho's foot's on the ropes. The referee restarted the match. MGF locked in the armbar onto Jericho. Jericho fight it out. Really? And before that, Jericho powerbombed MGF onto the turnbuckle. It's kind of like a shades of Kevin Owens' powerbomb onto the ring apron. Not turnbuckle, but, you know, ring apron, I'm trying to say. And I think he took, like, there was a move off the top rope, and basically MJF was selling his back. It looked like he injured his back in the process. In the end, Jericho locked in the water, Jericho onto MJF. MJF tapped out, and Jericho fights another day. I don't know. I have a mixed signal of that, you know, but for one, you know, I think at this moment of time, Jericho is, like, his time in the ring is it's 9, it's over. But at the same time, like, what's next for MJF, you know? I think it's a win back for Jericho because, really funny, in the 2 matches, I think MJF beat him twice. But yeah, it's like 2-1, but I think MJF should have got the victory. But I think it's just right. I think they're basically like setting up like a future match. I think they need to do a blow-off between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle at Full Gear. I understand they're not going to do a War Games match. Actually, they already had the War Games match, you know, that match at Blood and Guts, but I don't know what they're going to do next, you know. You know, I think they dragged this rivalry to the ground. I think they run out of ideas, man. They need to think of, like, a good idea for their future match very soon. You know, for the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle. You know, I think it's, like I said, I think it's cool off at this moment of time. That's just me. I'm not being negative, I'm just saying. So, the next match, we got Darby Allin versus, Darby Allin versus CM Punk. This is CM Punk's first professional wrestling match for 7 years. Punk is wearing tights. He never wore tights before. Maybe he wore shorts in his early years in his career in Indies and Ring of Honor, and throughout his career in WWE, you know, he's always wears trunks. Now he's wearing tights, you know. Anyway, CM Punk still got it. I don't think he did a suicide dive in this match. He didn't do his typical, like, moves in WWE, you know, the suicide dive and the diving elbow, because at this moment in time he's getting older. You know, he's trying to slow down a bit, but you know, like I said, Punk still got it. He could still go in the ring. There's one physical spot for Darby Allin. He took a massive bumps in this match. Like, there's one spot, like, basically, like, Darby Allin kind of like, Punk kind of Irish whipped Darby into, like, the middle turnbuckle and ring post area. I said to myself, wow, how the hell is Darby never got knocked out? You know, it was, like, right through the middle turnbuckle and ring post. It's like, holy crap, man. But I think Darby hit, like, his typical moves, like a move up the top rope. He's trying to hit the coffin drop, but Punk got away. A lot of rest holds. Sometimes I hate rest holds. Sometimes it drags the match down. Weather match, but that's just me. I'm not saying doing everything has to be a spot fest. You know, it gets bored very, very easily, very quickly. But the pace was good and okay. In the end, Punk hit not 1 but 2 GTAs, you know, the go to sleep. I think the first one, he hits it, and Darby kind of like fall off outside the ring, and then when he hit again, it's in the ring. Punk pins Darby Allin for his first win in AEW. Afterwards, you know, Darby and Punk, you know, shake hands. And same as Sting. But they need to do a Darby vs Sting match in the future. I did a video on it months ago. Hope they do it. You know, it's basically passing the torch between Sting and. You know, I don't know if they're gonna turn heel. Sting's not gonna turn heel because it never works. You know, in WCW and also in TNA, but in Darby maybe. I don't think he turned heel. I don't know. I don't really follow the career of Darby Allin, but I only followed him in AEW. But anyway, so the next match we got, this is like, I think it's a handicap match, I think, or one-on-one match. I'm very confused. We got Paul White, formerly known as the Big Show, formerly known as the Giant, versus QT Marshall with Aaron Solo and Nick Kamato. What was it, Kanemato? Sorry, I can't pronounce his surname properly, but it's just a typical squash. Yeah, you got QT Marshall's cronies got involved. In the end, yeah, Paul White chokeslam QT Marshall for the victory, and that was it. Yeah, it was just a okay match, nothing special. It's just like putting over the Big Show. You know, Paul White. You know, I don't say Paul White. Paul White's just there. It's just a one match off. I don't think he's wrestling full time because he doesn't really need to. He might have one more run. You know, I hope they get him right because they're really fucked Big Show. You know, keep like consistently turning babyface heel, just like book him like a monster. Like, I'm not saying Big Show is terrible. I think he's good, but he's just a victim of bad booking over the years, man. So anyway, yeah, he's just like typical Paul White moves, like big, you know, the slaps and you know the spear and the punch. No, he didn't do the knockout punch. You know, the choke slam. I'm trying to say, but I think he took out both Comoroto and Solo. So moving on to the main event. The main event, we got the AEW World Championship match. We got Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage. Match was okay. Like I said, too soon for this match. You know, they should have done Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page on this show, in my opinion. One more of the match, you had Christian kind of spear Kenny Omega through a table. He did like a move off the top rope. You got the interference of the Elites, you know, with Gallows and Anderson. Christian was going for the kill switch off the top rope, but Kenny Omega countered into a one-winged angel off the top rope to win this match and retain the AEW World title. I knew Kenny Omega was going to retain the title, and this was Christian Cage's first defeat. Too soon, in my opinion. It's like, what's the point in having Christian Cage beat him on the first episode of Rampage? I don't get it. You know, I knew, you know, it's too soon to do a rematch. You know, like I said, why just do Kenny Omega, Hangman Page? Don't get it. And then we got the debut of Adam Cole. I was like, holy shit! I never knew his debut. I didn't know he left. I think his final match in the company was against Kyle O'Reilly at recent Takeover show. He came. I thought he was confronting the Elite because the Elite is formerly known as the Bullet Club because they kicked him out of the group after, I think it was in a Ring of Honor event because Cole left the company to go to WWE with NXT. You end up like, you had the Elite beating down Christian Cage, and then you got the Jungle Express. I think it was Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Luchasaurus, maybe Marco Stunt. I don't remember. You got Adam Cole super kicked Jack Perry, you know, Jungle Boy, and then beat down, you know, the babyfaces even more. And also we got not just the debut of Adam Cole, we got the debut of Bryan Danielson, aka Daniel Bryan, and then he joined in the fight, and that was it. My thoughts on Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson in AEW. You know, I never knew Adam Cole left the company. You know, left WWE. I never knew. I think that was a surprise. With Bryan Danielson, I knew he would go to AEW because it was linked over the years. The rumors like, you know, him and Punk going to AEW. But I think Punk and Bryan probably have one more run in AEW before I call it a day because they're in their 40s. I think Danielson's in that 40 mark, you know, and I think he's 42, 43. Punk. You know, that'd be a good rivalry, you know, for, you know, Daniel Bryan and the Elite. I don't know why they call the Elite, you know. I wish they called the Bullet Club. We never got the Bullet Club in a major wrestling company. Yeah, like Ring of Honor and New Japan. I mean, like on a television company like AEW. I hope they bring it back in the future, the Bullet Club, because no company owned the rights. New Japan didn't own the rights. Ring of Honor doesn't own the rights, you know. I think Gallows and Anderson, you know, they're the founding father. sorry, tongue twisted moment, but Gallows and Anderson are the founding fathers of the Bullet Club. They got the rights. They own the rights with the Bullet Club trademark. They could probably bring it back in the future. You know, that's just me. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, my final rating for AEW All Out 2021. I'm going backwards, man. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. This was show of the year for pro wrestling. This was a good show. Nothing bad, but the only thing in the okay. I'm gonna go with the two matches, the Paul White QT Marshall match, and the main event. But besides that, I think it was a decent match. You know, the match of the night for me has to be the Steel Cage Tag Team Title match between Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks. I like the like the women's title match was good. Punk versus Darby Allin, that was a decent, good match. Yeah, you know, it just set out the rest of 2021. So I hope you enjoy my review of AEW's All Out 2021. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button. Click the bell. Subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Be part of the Central Unit today for more wrestling videos and more. And this is Central Man officially signing out. Check you later. And that's my review of All Out. And this was a thumbs up pay-per-view.